The Drop with Frank and Brian is officially brought to you by Switch Suspension. Switch Suspension specializes in all vehicle chassis components. Lift kits, lowering kits, air ride suspension, wheels, tires, steering, and brake upgrades. They use all the best products from the best brands. And these guys are truck guys. You roll into their parking lot at the shop and they all drive custom vehicles. So they use their products that they sell on their own vehicles. So if you guys are looking for anything for your vehicles, whether you're just starting out or you just need some replacement parts or whatever, give them a call or visit their website, switchsuspension.com. Charger to my new laptop at the hotel this weekend.
Oh, no way.
Yeah, I think I did. I can't find it.
Oh, that's a bummer. What did a new one cost you? Like $1,200?
Yeah. So I still have my old laptop, so I set it all up, got it all going.
Oh, cool.
And then I was looking online, and you can get chargers for the new laptop for pretty cheap. And I was like, wait a minute, those aren't, it has the little square plug, that the magnetized plug.
Yeah.
Well, these ones they sell on Amazon plug into the USB-C, one of the USB-C things. And I was like, so I just plugged a USB-C cable and you could just charge it. It doesn't charge it fast, but it still keeps it charged. So I was like, I don't even need one.
Sure, I'll screw those dudes.
Yeah. And Apple wants $120.
I wasn't too far off.
The cable alone is $50.
That's so crazy.
I'm like, not today, Apple.
Not today.
So this thing can't keep up and it just starts dying.
So you're on your old laptop right now?
No, I'm on the new one now.
You're on the new one. I was going to say, because are you sure you got all your, things correct?
Oh, I did. I went and I had to because that one was, we put Chelsea's, her setup on there. So I had to sign out of her, sign into mine. And it was a mess. I'm going to monitor this battery level to make sure it's
cool.
It's actually charging.
This is weird, man. We haven't done this in a few weeks.
I know. I was just now sitting here, I hit the FaceTime. I go, oh, I need to put my headphones on.
It is. We're back in it though. We're back here in our respective spaces.
Our safe spaces.
Our safe spaces, definitely. Definitely a safe space right here.
Did you Oh, come on. Now my message is going crazy about all the messages messaging me from over the weekend on my computer and stuff.
Yeah.
Did you make sure yours is set up still all right?
Yeah, everything's good. I'm recording. Checked.
No weird noise, no weird compressors or big bottoms on?
No. You noticed that too, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh wait. Oh no. You're talking about the things within the program. Yeah. Those are all cool. I thought you were talking about the compressor during Chris's episode, and then then on Oro's episode, those people who were just making a ruckus right outside while we were trying to record.
I know you couldn't even hear it though in the thing.
I listened so closely that I'm like, oh, I hear it.
Really?
I'm pretty sure. Yeah, I'm pretty sure no one else can hear it, or it's not a big deal. But I listen so intently that I'm dialed in.
Yeah.
But yeah, back here. It's a nice Wednesday here. Usually I start off these episodes with "It's been a week."
Well, guess what? It's been a month.
It's been a month. My back has been jacked up for officially today over a month now. What is this, 7th? Over a month now. But
you go tomorrow, right?
I'm getting it taken care of. I'm getting a little and I'm either going to come out paralyzed or fixed.
Every time you say chiropractor, I cringe.
I know, right? That's same thing. I was definitely one of those people who didn't subscribe to chiropractors as legitimate medical doctors. Sorry to our chiropractic listeners.
Yeah.
They're like, hey, man, what the hell?
Yeah. Well, I guess you'll find out. You're just kind of taking the gamble, right?
No, that's what I said. I'm either going to show up not fixed or I don't know. We'll see. We'll see how it goes down.
Instead of just going to a doctor right off the bat?
Well, see, the thing is if I go to a medical doctor, Like they're all they're gonna say is like, oh, I say I'm in pain. They're like, okay, you want some pain meds?
But you don't know that because you haven't tried it.
That is true. That is very true. However, of past experiences with people who have dealt with these problems, that's usually how it goes.
Yeah. Well, chiropractors is the same thing. You go and they'll just be like, they're not going to subscribe you to medicine, but they're just going to subscribe you to a regimen that doesn't necessarily maybe not fix it. That's the thing. Well,
they're going to like, I don't actually, to be honest with you, I don't know what to expect. So
got to start somewhere.
And at least I'm starting there. At least I'm being proactive about the situation and trying to get it taken care of. So
yeah, because after that last stint, I mean, it could have been bad. You could have like been closely missing the 30th.
I know. I know. So our listeners know that I missed the Mini Truck Revival show because I was in a bad spot. And I mean, I was better than I was in that episode, but still not 100%. And before we get into the whole talking about the 30th and stuff like that, like big thank you to everybody in our club. Oh, well, big thank you to Angie. First of all, Angie was like my number one, of course. But also everybody who helped out in the booth all weekend, which was Patty, Kim, Cassie from Houston, and I know I'm forgetting some of those are only ones that are Erica was helping out, like so many people so willing to help. I'm so thankful for them.
Yeah, now we're talking about the Day to Remember show,
which we can,
because we have not even we're not like, thanks for helping where what are we talking about?
Well, not only that, but I have to say to the people who are listening who put on the show, thank you for putting on the show. But
what show?
The Day to Remember.
We haven't even started. We're working backwards.
Working backwards. A Day to Remember show, which for the past few months we've only referred to it as our 30th anniversary party for the club.
I noticed other people also starting to refer to that.
Yes.
So,
is that our fault?
But you know what? But it changes names. It was the Chubb show, and then it became a Day to Remember show, and now it is our 30th anniversary show. And but
just
you know,
this year, though.
We haven't updated anyone in 3 weeks. So
right. So they don't know what's going on.
No, they don't know what's going on.
Well, all they know is there was a Chris Dunlop episode, a Cali Boy episode, and an Oro episode, which I hope they enjoyed. They were good episodes.
They were.
Those were really good episodes. Every one of those episodes brought something new and kind of neat to the podcast.
That's what I was going to say. They were all very different from each other. Like
all very different, but all very unique in their own. Which is
all very different, but all very unique.
Yeah, you know. I'm on today.
Yeah, no, they were a lot of fun. So let's backtrack. So
let's start at the beginning.
The last time we just talked about what was happening. I think my truck was still over at Panda's.
It was. Are you talking about the last time we spoke like this?
Yeah, the last time that me and you had a conversation and talked to our friends that are listening.
Yes. It was still at Panda's.
When we have those guest episodes, we're not updating like current events.
Exactly. Yeah. I was just trying to think back to exactly where we're at, and you're right. Your truck is at Panda's. My back was still messed up. I wasn't doing much. We were talking about gearing up for the show, and that's where we were at.
Yeah, so you got better, and then right as you were cresting the hill,
I messed myself up again.
You messed yourself up again.
Mm-hmm.
So were you worried a little? Were you worried about the show? Because at first, obviously, you weren't going to set up a booth, and you decided to set up a booth.
Mm-hmm.
Are you glad you set up a booth?
I am. I'm really glad I set up a booth, and which was a kind of a funny thing. So yeah, dude. Now that I'm really, there's so much stuff that happened. So,
I know there's a lot. We didn't make any notes. So this episode's going to be a little bit all over the place.
It's all over the place. We're just going to kind of like jump in and out of different things. But yeah, so jumping back to then.
So let's talk about leading up to the show.
Right. So a few months ago, a while ago, when we first started talking about this event and what it was a 30th anniversary of the club party or the club that we were going to get together at. And I made a pretty bold thing saying like, I'm just going to go. I'm not going to vendor. I don't want to be like tied to the booth or anything like that. And I just want to have fun. And then as weeks went by and things happened, I said, I need a vendor, like, cause, and it's funny cause you said that you're gonna realize like you have to do this.
Yeah. Well, there was two things that happened there. I was right about that, but I was wrong about Angie being the one to pressure you into it.
Mm-hmm.
You pressured yourself into it.
I did.
And I think that was because of, one, you missed the LA show.
Yep.
And two, Jap said that they didn't have any other clothing vendors.
Right. Yeah. Cause we had saw him at the cancer show. Yeah. And that's when that's actually when like it was first kind of plugged into my brain. And like, okay, this is going to work out, which is funny because I said that, and this is where it ties in together. Cause like I told them at that event, I told Victoria and Jap, I was like, I'm thinking about it and I'll let you know. Well, I didn't let them know. And then like a couple weeks later, I'd already made up my mind. I'm like, oh yeah, I'm definitely going to vendor the show.
Yeah.
And I totally forgot to tell them. So, the week before the show, which is SEMA week, and that Monday is the SEMA kickoff party that Shannon hosts from Freaks of Nature, which also is incorporated into the Mini Truck Hall of Fame, which we'll get into in a second. Mm-hmm. And then I saw Jap there, and I was like, oh, so by the way, about 2-3 weeks ago, I made up my mind. I'm definitely vendoring your show, and I didn't tell you.
Yeah.
And he's like, it's no problem. He's all, we figured. And I was like, okay.
Yeah. The best part about that is there are friends, so it's kind of like it's just a friendly thing. It's just like, by the way, we're doing this.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, we kind of knew.
You know, and you've been vendoring the show for about as long as I think. Actually, you only missed a couple of them, so I think we've been vendoring the show about the same length. Mm-hmm. The first one I went to was in 2015, and I went all by myself. I was actually still petitioning the club back then, and I went all by myself and vendored, and it was a lot of fun. And then I think maybe the next year or the year after, I can't remember which one, you came down, or up or whatever, and then you vendored the event too. But since then we vendor this event every single year.
Yeah.
Yeah. And and now that I look back on it, if I had not vendored, it would have seemed weird.
You also said the reason that you weren't going to vendor is because you wanted to go hard in the paint.
Mm-hmm.
And you didn't go hard in the paint. At least not from what I saw.
You want to get a little real right now. You want to get a little.
This is the place to do it.
This is the place to do it.
Yeah, yeah.
You told me.
Yeah.
A few years ago. You're like, look, you're gonna turn 40, and at some point you're gonna be like, I don't think I want to drink anymore.
Yeah.
I came away this weekend. We didn't go hard Friday because we were being responsible.
Angie went hard Friday.
Angie went a little hard on Friday, but
I thought she showed up a little hard. I was like, you were going fast right out the gate. She was having a good time.
She was having a good time. But I paced myself. We got to the next day. The next night, I got into the habit and did my thing, and I woke up Sunday feeling like that didn't add anything. Mm-hmm. I felt like I said, had I not drank or not, okay, like I said, we're gonna get in the weeds about this, and not I drank that much, that didn't add anything to the experience. I still talked to the same people and had good conversations, and I don't think it added to anything. You know what I mean? So all day Sunday, I was just explaining to Angie, I was like, I don't think I'm like done, like you were done in the sense, but I feel now that it doesn't really add anything. Like, I don't need to do that to kind of like what you figured out all those years ago. Like, you're having fun in the moment. You don't need anything else to facilitate that.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. It's a weird thing, and it just happens naturally. You know what I mean?
But I also, and the whole time I was like, motherfucking Brian's right.
We're all different. We all experience different things. But if you notice the common denominator of people our age and getting into their mid-40s, that's a very common theme.
And I noticed that. Kind of with everybody. Everybody was in the same space. And I kind of like, and again, we're jumping all over the place, but I kind of say that to like prelude the vibe for the weekend, which that was the vibe. It was this giant thing, which is the club, getting together and having such good friendships and bonds that's all it needed. Exactly. You know what I mean? That's all it needed. And so that's why I kind of like dived into that part of it, because I realized that by going hard or anything like that, it's not adding any value to that experience.
The people and that were there added the value to it.
That's all you needed.
Yeah.
That's all it needed, was sitting there with those people, who came from literally all over the world, talking to the Canadians, talking to Shingo. Like, these are good conversations that you don't need any help with.
Yeah, exactly.
So
yeah.
But yeah, so go ahead.
No, I was going to say, so many people have made the comments to me afterwards saying that the vibe was just so positive that there was like a glow to everybody. Mm-hmm. Like Rich and Jill were just saying this is like, it's what we needed. Like we hadn't done that in so long.
Right. It was almost like a reset, not a reset. Well, maybe reset's the wrong word. Maybe it was almost like a kind of like bring like spark, like a spark, I guess.
I don't know. It was really hard to explain. You know, it's going to be. I'm really interested where our club goes from here, because you're going to have like a few people that are going to be like, let's do it again, and then you're going to, can we do something like that again? But I think because a lot of times when groups get together like that, and then it's big talk, and then it tapers off and tapers off. Yeah. So it's like I told Shannon and Jap, I said, don't worry, next year we'll be back to our regular scheduled program of having 4 vehicles here.
Yeah, or less.
Yeah, or less.
Or just me and you showing up with the booths.
Yeah.
So, which is how it usually goes.
But the show in general, if anyone's listening and doesn't know what it is, it's the Freaks of Nature Day to Remember show. Mm-hmm. This is the first year back at Buffalo Bills, which is on the state line of California and Nevada, 30 minutes south of Vegas. And it's always the weekend after SEMA, so it gets a ton of SEMA people that are leaving, vehicles coming. And they had 350 vehicles this year, which is huge.
That's great.
And it's at the casino, so you get to park your car and leave it there. You don't have to move it. And, yeah, it's just a good time. So it was
a great time. We contributed 37 vehicles to that count.
We did, and I appreciate the hospitality that they gave us by giving us our space and letting us set up behind like it just worked out really well,
It was really cool. The thing, like, for me, this was just unique to this year because I appreciate the show. I almost felt like it was just us a few times. Like it was really, again, all these weird feelings, like, to put into words, because I don't want it to sound wrong or anything, but the vibe was we were there and this thing existed around us, kind of thing. You know what I mean?
I got tagged on Instagram and it said, I would like to thank Forbidden Fantasy for hosting the show at Buffalo Bills.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, man. Yeah. It was interesting.
It was. Did you, besides when you went and did the limbo, did you leave the area at all? Did you walk the show at all?
Okay. So, I did not. So, when this...
I did... You want to know the farthest I walked the entire time?
Uh-huh.
You know where Gooch was set up next to Roulette?
Yes.
That's how far I walked, and I didn't do it till he was tearing down so I could go tell him bye.
Really? I was pretty much the same thing. The only way I made it across the parking lot was to go to the bathroom.
And I never did that.
Yeah. I know. Like I said, I don't want to... I guess I can put this out there right now. When the video comes out, it is like... And I will be 100% truthful. It's 100% forbidden vehicles.
I never opened my camera case.
I know, yeah.
That was stressing me out. There's a few things that stressed me out and got me. I had a lot of anxiety.
I noticed.
But it was because when I got to Allen's, when I showed up to Allen's, so my journey, let's go back to this. My journey started Thursday morning, and I went and picked up Tony from the airport. Tony from Indiana, and then we went over to Switch Suspension. I grabbed some bags for some of the Texas guys that needed some. Came back to my house, hooked the trailer up, and we took off. We got to Allen's at AK about 6:20 that evening, and he was ready to go. It was his date night. He was like, I was already keeping him.
That's right. Yeah.
So loaded the truck up and took off to Prim, and we got up there at like.
When did you stop at Brandon's?
I stopped at his house on the way up.
Oh, okay. All right. Yeah, so that was part of that process because you had to get all the shirts that were made for the weekend.
There was so many like steps to this entire weekend.
Yeah.
And that's what was giving me anxiety was like making sure that all these things happen because they could just go off the rails so quickly.
You did a great job.
Well, and off the rails, like I'll explain that in a second, because nothing really goes off the rails like with this, but on a club level, like a hosting event level, like I was like playing host essentially.
Yeah, definitely. You're the one. So just a quick kind of insight into what you put together. We had shirts made, which you spearheaded the design, you spearheaded the production and the distribution. Not only did you do that, you came up with these really cool posters that were of the same design. So you put all that together. We got each member got 2 pins.
That was all Joey. So
that was Joey.
That.
Joey. I didn't know that. So Joey did that, which was a triple F pin and a full logo pin. Yep. And then you took the time to take all of these great things and put them in individual bags that were named. It was there was so much thought put into it, which was greatly appreciated. Like every single person was made sure that, like, hey, we get say thank you to Brian, make sure Brian knows thank you, and now Joey, because I actually didn't know that about the pins about Joey, but Joey put in all the effort. A lot of people put in effort.
No, they did. Like Tony helped me in the hotel room bag everything up, get all that stuff, and then we also had hoodies made for pre-order. We also had extra t-shirts. So any member that showed up got a free t-shirt, but then you could also order more t-shirts.
Right.
But so we had these boxes of t-shirts behind our booth, the worst thing that could happen is someone getting into those boxes and taking things like, oh, I ordered an extra large on the website, so I'm just going to take it.
Oh, I see. Yeah.
So I just was like, I told everyone, like, don't take anything. You know what I mean? And same with the hoodies. Like we had hoodies and then we had extras, and I had to make sure the ones that paid for their hoodies got their hoodies. And once those boxes of shirts get open,
it's like
it's on.
Yeah.
It's chaos.
Yeah.
So like making sure that didn't happen. And then, so it was just like a lot of like making sure. And then like woke up on Saturday morning, got my booth like pretty much set up, got your easy up. We kind of like laid that stuff out. And then I was like, okay, now I'm going to go to back up to my hotel room, and now I'm going to get all this club stuff and bring it down. So it was like not only setting up the booth, but also setting up the club stuff.
Right. You were like, you had 2 jobs.
Yeah. And I know I could get help and all that stuff. And I did have help, but it's just like the booth. You know what I mean? Like everyone comes up, hey, what can I do? Can I help? Mm-hmm. Can I help? Like when you're setting up and tearing it down, you're like, there's really, you can do stuff, but you can't do too much because we have a routine.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, it was, but it all ended up working out really well. It was just, I just wanted to make sure everybody else, like everyone got the stuff that they ordered. Mm-hmm. Everyone was happy and all that stuff. Mm-hmm. But yeah, it all worked out in the end. You know what I mean? And then I knew Joey always does this, and I know you're listening, Joey. I don't know when you're going to listen to this, but when that guy starts to take pictures, he takes so like, and I love it that he does it, but it's just like, take a picture, and he just started rolling. But then he got the group picture. That was a cool idea with getting all that together. That came out cool.
The drone.
Did you see that picture? Like, there's half the people looking straight, half the people looking up. And then like Robbie walking from the back. And
I didn't see Robbie yet.
Oh yeah. If you go on the the club Facebook group, and you look at that overhead picture, look at the picture that Brother Dave put underneath it. It's Rob. He's walking back. He's halfway between his truck and the group, and he's just like walking.
Oh, that's funny. That's funny.
So, yeah, I don't know.
But Joey taking a bunch of photos.
Yeah, I don't know. The whole thing was really cool. It was just
It was really cool. So that was like, you put all that effort into like planning and figuring it out. And then the other half is the effort of the members getting their vehicles there.
Yes.
Was incredible.
It
was absolutely incredible. We had our Matt Dower from Canada trailered his truck down. That was impressive. The Texas guys came through.
Oh yeah. Big time.
They came through. I don't know exactly, and I don't want to misspeak or anything like that, but they brought quite a few trucks, and that was impressive. And then even down to like our SoCal guys.
Yeah.
Everybody put a tremendous amount of effort into doing something.
And the effort to like roll together, like all you guys rolled together. Like,
oh yeah, that was really fun to kind of like rewind back. I was like, I think I said it in the last podcast that I was like trying to figure out how to get the vendor trailer up there and the 4Runner. Yep. The original plan was going to be me driving the Titan with a trailer and Angie driving the 4Runner. Yep. And that's perfectly fine. But I wanted to participate in that.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
And so luckily, after figuring out, it finally worked out. Eric from the club, he has a full-size truck, so he was able to pull the vendor trailer. I was able to drive the 4Runner. So we had most of the SoCal guys driving in a caravan with the trailer guys at the end.
Yeah, and that's kind of the biggest thing that with this 30th anniversary. Like, we did a big dinner for our 20th. We did a big banquet for our 25th. But the thing that we always left out was our actual vehicles.
Yeah, that's true.
So our dinner, our fancy get-together this year was just getting the vehicle. That was the special part of this.
Which if you think about it, if you boil it down to what being in a truck club is, that's being in a truck club.
Exactly.
Going to shows, hanging out, and just doing that. Like the dinners are cool. All the banquets are cool. Those are really cool. But to get to this milestone of 30 years, to only revert back to exactly what it was in the beginning, I think is pretty poetic.
That's exactly my thought process behind the whole thing. Just getting back to the basics and showing people like, hey, this is what we're supposed to do.
Right. Yeah.
You know?
And I think it worked so well. And that's what I was kind of like talking about earlier, is about getting that spark going. It kind of renewed that love, or renewed that energy for truly what it is to be a truck club.
Yeah. Cause there's so many people with trucks in limbo right now that are like, oh, should I finish it? Or do I want to spend the money on it? And then they go to that and they're like, yeah, I kind of do, you know? So
yeah. And the way we had it set up, all the full-size trucks into cars on one side, all the mini trucks on the other side, everything looked really good. Now to go back to you and your effort getting your truck there.
Yes, that was
pretty awesome.
That was looking at the truck there, like when we got it unloaded and laid it out, I was just like,
wow,
jeez, that's crazy. Yeah. That's that truck.
Yeah.
Going from just that picture that I showed you back a few months ago.
Just a few months ago, and we'll insert all this stuff here. Yeah. But yeah, it was. I love telling this story. I told it to like pretty much everybody over the weekend. We're all standing there looking at your truck. Everybody's like, "Yeah, great job, good job." And I was like, I remember when he sent me, it was a motor, frame rails, a drive shaft, and a rear end.
Yeah, and the frame rails were not even connected to it. The very first photo, there was only frame rails under the motor. They were cut off. That's
what I'm saying. Yeah. It was just that part, and then a drive shaft, kind of like giving you an idea that this could be a truck in some capacity.
Our friend Tyler from up in Canada, he said, I love the fact that it looks so complete, yet it's still so far from getting done.
I thought the same exact thing. If you just looked at the photos of it just now, you'd be like, oh, let's get in it and drive away.
That's what he said. He goes, it looks like it's just able to drive everywhere. And then you look inside of it, you're like, oh.
Half the floor's gone.
Wiring everywhere. Yeah. But I couldn't have done that without Panda. And and then Alan and those guys just busted like a
Sean.
Yeah, Sean in the beginning, Panda in the middle, and then Alan that last week to make it look like all one color. You know what I mean?
So you're such in a whirlwind picking up the truck, you really didn't have time to process it. But how about getting into the show and that feeling? But how about getting it home and putting it in your garage?
We did. Me and Chelsea unloaded it by ourselves last night.
I saw that. That's why I'm asking.
Yeah, that was. The best part is like you do that, right? And then you shut the garage, you turn the lights off, and then you go inside. And then like an hour later, you like walk by the garage and you like open it and look. You're all,
yeah. That's so incredible. That's incredible, man.
Yeah,
that should be like on this podcast we talk a lot. Like a lot of people ask us questions, and it's kind of cool. Like we're putting what we're talking about into practice because over this last year or so of doing the year and a half, almost 2 years now doing this podcast. Everybody asks us, how do I start a build? What do I do when the build stalls? All of these questions. So, and we facilitate whatever advice we can do. And then you took that advice and you put it into practice.
Yes.
And it's really kind of neat how that came together too. That's
and you don't realize you're doing it until like you're like, oh, this is what I always talk about. Mm-hmm. Like practice what you preach type thing. And not that we're preachy, but we're just like,
I get it.
And we're learning as we go. So now that we can actually answer these questions even more thoroughly. Like the biggest thing that I learned throughout this whole thing, because some people were like, how'd you get it done so fast? Well, I was like, well, first of all, I didn't do anything.
Well, yeah. I mean, if we're going to be completely honest.
Yeah. But second of all, it's always like you said, the plan, right? So you have a plan. But the third and most important thing, dates. Mm-hmm. I gave Sean a date that I was going to Texas to pick it up. And I gave Panda, not that these people needed like, hey, get it done or else type thing, but just like, and then I gave Panda's like, hey, what day are you taking? And I said, I'm taking it this day. It has to. And then Alan, same thing. What? And I was like, these are very important things that like I'm coming to get it and it's going here because it has to, regardless of what it looks like when it leaves your place. That's where I'm picking it up.
I think that's an important thing too, is like coming to an understanding that, and I think, so you say you don't want to sound like, oh, this is the deadline, you do it. Not really. What you're actually saying is whatever is done by this point is when I'm going to take. So it kind of takes the pressure off the person doing it, because now you don't set this like high expectation. Like I want to completely, rolling chassis or whatever, by this time. What you said was, no, I said, let's work together to figure out what we can do to get it by that point.
Yeah, exactly. And that's why like
goes on to the next
the floor in the back wall was just tacked in. Like Panda's like, how far? I was like, look, if you have time to do sheet metal, do it. If you don't, that's fine. If you have time to do this, do it. Same with Alan. If you have time, I was like, these are the most important things. It all has to be one shade of color. Mm-hmm. However you want to get to that point is up to you. Mm-hmm. So.
Yeah, I think that's a real important distinction in that process and in the planning and the expectations out of people.
And also, I talked to Alan months ago, and I said, hey, if I drop it off on this day, what can you get done by this day? I didn't just call him a week before and was like, hey, it's almost done.
Well, yeah, exactly. Like you didn't call me before saying, I need this done.
Kind of like I did. Kind of like I did to Panda when I just showed up at his shop.
Gave him this loose resemblance of a vehicle.
Yeah,
that's my favorite part.
The favorite part of that video was when he referred the Fast and Furious.
Yeah. Here's your 9-second car.
Yeah. What the hell is this? This is your car.
Yeah. This is my truck.
Yeah.
Oh, this isn't a truck.
Yeah, this is nothing.
Yeah, it's so incredibly crazy how it's come together. And like you said, it's still got a long way to go. Now,
what's funny though is now there's no more shock and awe.
That's true.
The shock and awe happened.
Yeah.
So now it's like the next big thing is going to be it driving, because the firewall is not a shock and awe thing. Like nothing else is like a huge thing. So,
which is going to be an interesting thing to mentally get through too. You're going to get through you're going to put the same amount of like work, again, not you physically doing the work, but you facilitating all of the work is going to be the same or more intense. So it's going to end, but that feeling to go from nothing to something, it's going to be weird. It's going to be an interesting mental journey.
I think there's just as much work left as there was to get it to this point.
For sure.
For sure. All the little detail work is going to be interesting.
Yeah. So, yeah. And that's going to be the part that's going to mess with you mentally. You're going to be like, what's happening? I'm spending all this effort and time doing this, and it's not really going anywhere.
Yeah. I'm also learning about 4Runner front end swaps.
Really?
On Tacoma. Yeah, because I had no idea that the grills were different. I knew the bumpers were different, but I didn't know that the grills were different. I knew that the difference, like the Tacoma bumper was different than the 4Runner bumper, but I had no idea how much. So when I just put my bumper on, and then I just sent a grill to Alan's, and he put it on. He goes, yeah,
this is wrong.
This looks kind of weird, which sucks because it got so far, and then I had the wrong. But I was like, I can't take it. I can't do anything about it. So
yeah. No, it's cool. And that front end looks really good on that truck too. I was not a big 4Runner front end on Tacoma guy, but then like the way that you were talking about the lines and stuff, I'm like, oh, that makes a ton of sense. I still like the other one better though. Personally, I like the big, huge mouth grill.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
I think that
the 0304
to me,
style.
Yeah, to me, I think they're equally good looking. It's almost like you can't go wrong with either of them.
Right. Oh,
type thing. You know what I mean? It's not like sometimes when people have a choice to go one way or the other, they only go the one way because it's different. Mm-hmm. They don't go and it's like, so just because it's different doesn't mean it looks the greatest all the time.
Yeah. Oh, definitely. Yeah, definitely. There are some trucks out there. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. My personally, I don't like the Infiniti QX56 front end on Titans.
Oh, yeah.
And I get it. Like you want to be different than the other Titans out there, but
it looks weird.
It does. Yeah,
it looks weird. No, I totally get that. So yeah, that was another cool part. Man, there's just so much to, and I think we're going to be talking about this in little pieces even later on. Now remembering it, because it's only Tuesday. Is it Tuesday? Yeah, it's only Tuesday. So it was only a couple days ago. So there's still a lot to unpack, mentally and physically.
Well, I'm staring right now at Club T-shirts. I just sent all my pre-orders from the new Grinder TV shirt out today. So now and then last night I packed up all the pre-orders for the club. So I got to work through the hoodies, and I got to send this huge box to Australia. That's going to be expensive.
Oh boy.
Yeah, it's 4 skateboard decks and
oh wow.
From our show.
Oh, those ones that with the ones that you were holding on to.
Yeah, and like 7 hoodies.
Yeah. I noticed that did you this is another kind of getting into the details about it, but did you tell Brandon what sweater to use? Because I noticed he went with the 4000s.
Yeah.
Oh, you did? You wanted to use the 4000s?
2 reasons. One, just because they're just easier. They're less bulky.
No, it's the other way around.
No.
The 4500s are less bulky.
No, the ones that we used here versus the ones that I used before.
Yeah, so remember when you got the Ranger sweaters?
Yeah, those were way bulky. Those took up. Those were huge.
Those are the same style.
No, they're thicker. 100. You want to know why? Because Brian Duggar came back up to me and he goes, "I like the Ranger and the OBS ones you did because they were very thick, and I live in a cold area." And when I gave him this one, I go, "Hey, I got these ones on the thinner material." So the ones that we printed on the 30 year and the ones I did the GTV hoodies on, those are midweight.
Right. Yeah.
The Ranger and the OBS were heavyweight.
Oh, okay. Then, because like mine, like the drop ones are 4500s.
Okay, well, whatever you told me, because I went back in our messages, I copied and pasted what you told me to do.
Oh.
So those are the exact same ones as the drop hoodies.
Okay.
The Ranger and the OBS ones were the very thick material, so they took up way more space. Like
I remember that. Yeah,
I have them still. I have an OBS one here still. I'll go and look at what the tag says on it.
Yeah, I'm just curious what those would be.
Did you thought the OBS and the Ranger ones were thinner than those?
Thicker.
They are thicker.
No. I thought the Ranger and the OBS ones were the same thickness as the 30-year ones.
No.
And then the drop ones and the ones I print on are thinner. So there's the 4500s and the 4000s.
Okay, that's possible.
We're getting way to the
Hold
weeds
on.
about it.
I actually haven't looked at the 30-year hoodies.
Oh, okay. They're 4000s.
Okay, so I've only looked at my Grinder TV ones.
And they are?
I don't know.
Oh,
because
okay.
I just know that the Grinder TV ones, my new design hoodies, are the same as the drop.
Heavyweights.
No, they're the same as the drop. Hold on. The Grinder TV ones. Did you get a Grinder TV one?
No. You're talking about the Ranger and the OBS ones. Those are the Grinder ones.
Okay, I'm talking about the new ones I just did this weekend.
I did not see those.
Okay.
I did not see those. That's okay.
That's what I'm talking about.
That's where we're disconnecting.
Yeah. Those ones.
The audience is like, man, we don't give a crap, dude.
Those ones that I just did.
Yes.
Are the same as the drop.
Yeah. Okay. That what I would agree.
The 30-year ones, I have no idea because I haven't even gone into them yet.
Those are the same as the Ranger and the OBS.
Okay, which makes sense because those are the ones that Brandon keeps in stock.
Yes. Are we gonna cut all that out?
No. That was great because you thought when I said Grinder ones, I was talking about the old ones,
the Ranger and the OBS.
That's why I was like,
I didn't know that you made the new what do you call that one?
The Arizona Milan? Square body.
Oh, the Arizona Square. Not calling it the Milan.
No,
I've been calling it the Milan.
I had to think of something because that one I didn't want to call it the Get Down one because it's not.
That's true. It's not for the. It's not. Yeah.
Yeah, because a lot of people will try to take advantage of that and make like official Get Down merch.
Oh, really? Oh.
And I didn't want to be that, so I didn't put Get Down anywhere on it. I just referenced it. You know what I mean? So.
So other companies will make Get Down specific shirts to get in on that name.
Yeah.
Get Down.
Yeah.
Which is Dino's thing anyway, which he's producing.
Yeah. It would. Yeah. Exactly. It's like when that one company made LST T-shirts. Remember that was next to us. No. LST that.
Oh yes, yeah. I do remember
that. And I was like, that's not right.
Yeah, I do remember that. They had that like small trailer and all the tents in front of it, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Wow.
I should have been more specific from the get-go and not said Grindr TV. I should have said, well, I did. I said the new Grindr TV one.
You did say that.
Anyway.
But
I get it. Yeah, don't know.
Yeah. Okay. Anywho.
So I printed those new Grindr ones thinner because I didn't want them to take up as much space.
That makes a ton more sense. That makes way more sense.
It also makes sense that
those are probably 4500s.
I went and looked at our messages because I asked you which ones one time,
and those are exactly like the drop. And that's exactly what you were saying.
Exactly what I was saying.
They're exactly the drop.
Now,
and
I don't know. I assumed that's what the 30 years were printed on because I don't even remember touching a 30-year hoodie.
Right. As soon as I grabbed them all, these are 4,000.
Yeah, they're in the office or in the garage. I haven't touched them.
Yeah. Okay. Anyway, back to our regularly scheduled programming and not arguing over it. Anyway, 30-year. Back to that. Yeah. It was fun. What else could I say about that show?
There was a lot of nice stuff there.
Oh yeah, definitely.
There was.
We saw. I didn't even know RJ's Lucid was going to be in SEMA. Like it had a whole thing going on.
Yeah. He
super cool.
Yeah, he kept it under wraps pretty good.
Yeah, it was really cool. Like the only way I knew was he posted a picture from SEMA, and I was like, oh,
yeah.
Cool.
Only Lucid in the world, I think, on bags because they're not like Teslas some Teslas come with bag suspension, and that Lucids don't. So they made it. But yeah, I get to shoot that for an EV mag coming up here soon.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, that's exciting.
Yeah, I'm excited.
That's cool. Yeah, that's awesome. Yeah. Another like little side thing that we could go down for just a couple seconds is I took some cell phone footage of us rolling out there, and I got this really you probably saw it. I got this really cool shot of Adam's car.
Yeah.
Cruising down. Looked really cool. I posted that last night. This morning I posted one of Brother Dave's truck, which if you look at the two, and Angie shot both of these. Like Adams is really nice. It's nicely in frame. It kind of like follows. It's got a really nice background. It's actually a really good video. Brother Dave's is more kind of like a little raw. Like it's inside the truck. You can see parts of the truck. It's a little bouncy. It's a little out of focus in some points. But that Adam, like as of right now, Adam I posted last night and it's sitting at about 1,600 views. And Brother Dave's truck has only been up for a few hours. It has 2,200 views right now. And it's just interesting. It's just interesting people what they like.
It's not even what they like. It's what they're fed.
Is it what they're fed or is it?
Yeah, because they're not. You're getting those. If you can go to your analytics and see this about who likes your page and likes the post and who doesn't like your page and likes the post. See what I'm saying? So when you scroll your For You page, you're liking stuff that you don't follow their page.
Right.
So your posts are being recommended to people that don't. So if you tag Tesla, it's going to go to a certain crowd. If you tag Chevy truck or whatever, it's going to go to another crowd. That's
exactly what I did. So it's just that the Chevy truck crowd is a much broader audience than
the Tesla it's crowd. Time of day. So
I just thought because often we talk about how I just kind of like you've said before like you just shoot the mini trucks like there's other vehicles there. Yeah. And I just thought that was a really interesting, like little capsule, like thing. Like,
well, look
Adam's. I'm not saying that Brother Dave's truck isn't cool, but Adam's Tesla is very, very cool.
Yeah, if you look at look at our drop page, some of that one first pinstripe Chris reel got like 12,000 views.
Oh wow, I didn't know.
And then the rest one had like 500 views.
It's arbitrary. We don't know.
I don't understand. I mean, look at my Tacoma video. It's blowing up. It's like 26,000 views. Who knows why?
It's a good video.
It is, but you don't know it's a good video until you watch it, and the view count's already there. True. So it's like, it's almost like the people. Maybe it captured people's attention longer, so it kept it. Put it in people's
in the algorithm
recommendation. Longer. Yeah. So, who knows what I mean, I've had videos get like 1,000 or 2,000 views and you're just like,
you just don't understand it. I don't know. Just thought that was interesting.
It is. The whole thing is, but so going back a week, we had the Mini Truck Hall of Fame, which was it was cool, but I knew the second Bob Hayes messaged me and said, hey, your guys' show is getting inducted this year. I was like, well, this sucks because all these people are coming out for the 30 year.
Oh yeah.
They can't go to Vegas, stay an entire week because that's on Monday. The 30 years on Saturday.
Right.
Or they can't go up and go back and all this stuff. So I told everyone, like, don't go. Like, just don't worry about it. I'll
concentrate on getting to the 30 year.
Yeah, don't choose between the two. Or if you're like, oh, I can go to both, but I can't take my truck to one. It's like, just don't worry about it.
Right. Yeah, but it was you. I rolled.
I was gonna say it was still really cool that some people went. You know what I mean? Like, and did turnarounds. Like Glenn
was hardcore. Like I'd only live 2 hours 45 minutes from Vegas is where I live. Glenn lives in San Diego. He's like 5 hours away. And you're like 4 hours away, and we all just said, let's just go up there and go do it and turn around and come back, and that's what we did.
Yeah, it was, and Eric was already up there for SEMA, but he, him and Angelina came out and no, it was really cool. And I got to drive a Mustang up there and back, which was kind of cool.
Yeah, that was interesting.
That was just random.
Yeah, that was interesting. Yeah, that was really cool. What's funny is since it's been because the last time that I went to a Mini Truck Hall of Fame, or actually SEMA in general. Oh no, okay, that's not true. But let's start here. That the last time I actually like participated in that was back in 2019. I totally forgot that Shannon does the whole SEMA kickoff party too. So,
oh really?
Yeah, I just totally forgot. And it's nothing. It's not that it's not good or anything. I just totally forgot.
Now, is it Shannon or is it just a Freaks thing? It's a Freaks thing, right?
Well, both. Like it was Shannon is more kind of like spearheaded the art version of it, like all those painters and stuff. We're doing panels. And
okay, yeah.
That's like sort of his thing, but it is also a freak event. So it's sort of like everything. And he could correct us on that. I could be totally wrong, but that's the
he doesn't listen to this.
Oh yeah, that's fine. Well, some freak will correct us on it, but yeah. So I totally forgot about that. So as we roll up, I'm like, oh dang, there's a lot of vehicles here just for the Hall of Fame, and then I realized, oh no, this is a whole separate other event. It's almost like that that kickoff part, because I think Shannon has been doing this for a really long time.
Yeah.
So like I think that existed anyway, and then the mini truck is just sort of tacked on to that.
Yeah.
So, and it was real cool. That was the second one that I've been to. That was the second one you've been to, because the last time I went in 19, you were getting inducted for the Lifetime Achievement Award, correct?
Yes. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. The Courtney Hollowell Lifetime Achievement. Hold on.
Whoa. You got him here. You got him with you.
I got him with me.
Put him on. Oh, we forgot another to just. You were presented with a really nice gift at the 30 year. Yeah. The club got together. Who spearheaded that? So we know for sure.
I don't know.
Oh, you don't know?
I think it was. I'm pretty sure it was roulette, but okay. I was not given the details on it.
Yeah, I knew nothing about it. It probably was roulette, because he came up to me and said, "Hey, make sure you're around. We're doing this thing for Brian." And I was like, "Okay, cool."
Yeah.
And then so he presented you with this really cool 30th anniversary ring, which is the club logo.
Yeah.
Right.
It's got FFF on it. It says FFF Forever Prez on this side.
Mm-hmm.
FFF on this side. Obviously the logo there.
Yeah. Wait, hold on. It says FFF Forever Prez?
It says FFF Forever Prez.
Oh, okay. Oh, for okay, I get it. Okay.
Yeah, fa.
Which is
and
still,
then it says,
which is still like,
yeah, IE original, established 1993.
That's really cool.
Yeah,
I didn't know it said that on the inside.
Yeah, it was really cool.
That's really, really cool. Yeah, when I saw that, I was like, oh yeah. But yeah, so you're looking like Michael Jordan over here, dude.
I know.
Put them all back on. Let's see it again.
Hold on, I think they should all fit the. Did I get this one bigger? Oh, maybe I did.
Look at that! Look at that, dude. Like I said, looking like Michael Jordan over here. So now
I don't know if you heard Roulette say, he goes, when he was about to present this to me, he said, "Now that I know that Brian doesn't wear jewelry at all," because he didn't know that, and then he made this. And I was like, "No, don't worry. I just put him on my shelf anyways."
Yeah. I want to get a ring done. Like I'm a semi jewelry guy. Like when, like, obviously I have my wedding ring, but then like if I like dress up, I have a pinky ring that I wear. But I do want to get like a forbidden ring. And there's a dude, his name is Sweden, or hold on. I'm gonna mess this up. I don't
Sweta?
Suida, is that how you pronounce it?
I think so.
Yeah. So Suida. So he actually produces rings. He's done rings and different necklaces and stuff for the club before, and he makes really cool stuff. So, I guess they refer to that style ring as a biker ring.
Yeah, and it's funny is I don't even wear a wedding ring.
Yeah, you don't wear anything.
I don't wear anything. It bothers me, and like even just having on it like now, I'm sure if I like did it, I would get used to it. But I can't wear a watch either.
I'm not a watch guy.
I wish I was, because watches are cool. There's like so many, like the watch game is crazy.
Yeah. There's some watch dudes out there.
Yeah, but they're very it's almost like car collecting.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like there's very, very high end, there's mid end, there's low end, but they all have like an artistic value to them and all this stuff. I wish I could. Mm-hmm. I'm glad I don't.
Because then you would just have another vice to fulfill.
And it's just a lot of money and stuff, but you know, a lot of people wear their Hall of Fame rings like when they go back to the Hall of Fame,
mm-hmm.
and I don't. And they're like, "Why not? Why don't you wear it?" And I was just like,
"It's not really your thing."
I would constantly mess with it. Yeah, I'm sure I could probably get used to it again, but I don't know. It's just and it's also just too much. They're huge.
They are big. They are. I mean but that's like that type of like I don't know. Have you ever seen a replica like World Series ring?
Oh yeah.
They're like you can't wear them. They're not meant to be worn.
No,
actually, the which one? I don't know which one it was. I think it was. I don't know. This is getting way into the weeds about one particular thing, but I think it was the last Dodgers ring actually opened up and it had a replica of the stadium with inside the ring.
Was that when they won the
World Series in 2020? Yeah. So I don't know. It's just I don't think they're meant to be worn. I think they're just meant to have.
Yeah.
Know, just because they're so grandiose. But if you look at the older ones are actually meant to be worn. Like if you go down to whatever team that you frequent, you go look at their championship rings, and the farther back you go, the smaller they get.
I also freak out if I can't get a ring off.
Oh yeah, that's true. That was suck.
I would freak me out. Like
I can cut my finger off.
I would lose it. Yeah, and Glenn was talking to me about trying to see if we could get everyone to get a ring or something or something like that, like offer them. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Like Hall of Fame rings or club rings. Like
Hall of Fame rings, something. You know what I mean? Like if we wanted to get them done.
It is an interesting thing getting that. I thought about this. It is an interesting thing when. Well, I mean, for your Lifetime Achievement Award, that's your achievement. That's yours.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
With a show, and eventually, without sounding pretentious, when the club gets inducted, like it's like. It is a thing that it represents all these hundreds of people,
Yeah, exactly.
It's kind of an interesting thing to have.
It is, because if the club went away, I wouldn't throw the show.
Right. Oh yeah, for sure.
If the club went away, I would just be a guy with a logo on the back of my truck. Mm-hmm. And it wouldn't be a club because it would just be me. So if it's just you, is it still a club? Is that a super exclusive club?
Right. Exactly.
Where it's just me?
Or is that like just some sad thing?
And if it was just me, would I still win a club?
Right.
And I wouldn't win an achievement award because I didn't achieve much. I would only be one member in one club with no car show.
Exactly. Yeah. It's just, I don't know. Like maybe don't think about it too hard.
That's what it boils down to there. Because it is weird, and it is political, and it is favoritism, and it is this, and it is that, and it's not perfect, and it will never be perfect. But if you focus on the imperfect part about it, it loses. Like the Mini Truck Hall of Fame needs to be a thing. I don't know if it needs to be called the Hall of Fame. Like if I did it, I don't know if I would call it the Hall of Fame.
Yeah. But it is kind of like a catch. I've thought about this exact thing too. But go ahead. Oh.
Yeah, because like sports, right? The Sports Hall of Fame. You get in it because there's mathematical numbers that help you achieve home runs, batting average, stolen bases. Mm-hmm. If you do more of those things, then you were a better player than the people that didn't do those things.
Right. There's like a not necessarily tangible, but there's like there is a thing you can compare it to.
Exactly.
Yeah.
In a mini truck world, if you took myself and compared it to you, two people, how many trucks have you owned? Mm-hmm. Okay, how many have been in a magazine? I don't know. Is that a thing?
It's very subjective.
How many shows have you gone to? How many trophies have you won? Like, it is very so. it's just a weird thing.
And I've always thought that since its inception, which actually, if you think about it, it's been around a long time now. It's been around a while. But in its inception, I thought about it like it is, for those people who have won Hall of Fame, got the accolades, and I appreciate them, I respect them very much. But in the beginning, it was a weird thing,
Yes.
So now, but then again, so the way I kind of put it in perspective in my brain was I said, well, I mean, they have like the Lowrider Hall of Fame, they have the Hot Rod Hall of Fame, and those are respected. When you have I don't know exactly how it works in the lowrider world, but I do know that there are some Hall of Fame vehicles, like El Rey is the first one that comes to mind. If you would have told me, look at that car and said, yeah, that's a Hall of Fame, I'm like, oh yeah, I get it, But that probably was weird in the beginning too. You see what I'm saying? So as time goes on, and as it transitions from reality to lore, I think it's going to be different. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, and I think the lowrider community, you could literally base that thing off points because it is about the show.
That's true. Yeah, that's true.
So
it is a weird thing.
It is a weird thing. When the Mini Truck Hall of Fame first started, I was very about it, and I still am weird about it. But it's something that needs to, as we get older, I respected the memory part of it more.
That's what I'm saying. It's exactly
we need to, it's almost like a baseball card collection.
Right. Exactly. Yes. That's exactly.
And I told the committee, quote unquote committee, has changed. A lot of people aren't in it that were in it before, but Jason Ballard is in it. And he's a great person to be in the committee. Absolutely. Because that guy knows painters on the West Coast, painters on the East Coast. If you were to show me hey, out of all these people, who'd you pick? I'm only going to pick the people I know because that's all I know. I don't know anyone else. And I told Jason there, I said, hey, this needs a website. It does, yeah. And he was saying, well, Bob showed me this fancy website. And I said, no. It doesn't need to be fancy. It literally just needs a website with a link to years and then a link to
inductees.
Not inductees, but a link to who the shows, clubs.
Oh, yeah, that's what I mean. So it would say, okay,
categories.
Yeah. That's what I see.
So you can search. So you can click by category, click by year. One of those two things, and then it shows a photo of the person
and a quick
photo of the truck and the person, something other like that, and then a bio, a brief bio. That's it.
Well, that's essentially baseball, for example, uses statistics to get there, but that's what it is. You go to you can literally a physical Hall of Fame and look at these different people and look at and learn about them. And that's what I'm talking about. Eventually this will turn into that lore because eventually we're going to be older or not here. And then the younger people, if there are some, or just people who are curious, what is this thing? There'll be something that they can consume and learn, about it.
Yeah. Because what's going to happen to these trucks? What's going to happen to my truck? Am I going to sell it? Who's going to get it? If I don't sell it, if I keep it till I'm old and dead, where does it go from there?
Right, exactly.
You know what I mean? Where some people pass them down to their kids, but what if their kids don't want them?
Exactly.
What if they don't have kids? What if whatever it is, you know what I mean? It's just there needs to be something. We have videos, so we're kind of forever as long as those videos stay up. And we have social media and all that stuff, but there's still people from back in the day that never did. Yeah. So.
Yeah. No, that's a really good way to put it. But yeah, good, well put. And that was a fun of it. So jumping all over the place. We had the Hall of Fame, and then we had the Chubb the Data Remember show.
And in between those two was SEMA, which neither of us went to.
Yeah. You know what's funny? And I could just be completely talking out of pocket here or out of just not the right frame of mind. I've noticed within our community, SEMA, it used to be SEMA, and I'll explain what I think it is. SEMA used to be the thing, SEMA, go to SEMA, get to SEMA, check out SEMA, do all the SEMA stuff. And I've noticed over the past few years that kind of went away. But again, it's only from my perspective because in the beginning, SEMA used to be a thing for the club to get together and meet up and hang out. So it was a thing that you wanted to get to so you could see your friends and hang out. And we kind of facilitated that need with the show,
That's when it flipped.
And that
for our club at least.
Right.
To now our show, because our show before the Avi was not a place that you wanted to come and hang out with we didn't get together and hang out
when it was at Lake Paris. Yeah, it was just like this big monster of a thing.
It was work.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
SEMA wasn't work. SEMA was where we went to play.
Right.
Now the show is where we go to get together and play. Yeah.
That's what I said is just from my perspective and just the people I associate with. I'm pretty sure that SEMA, there are still people out there that like,
oh yeah. There's a ton of people that still go and still party, still have fun and use it as a get together. Cause Vegas is the perfect place for that. Mm-hmm. What I did notice was there was more mini trucks at SEMA this year.
Oh, really?
I mean, not like a ton, but there's been years where I don't think there was one. Like there might've been one and I didn't know, but like there was not quite a few, but there was some cool ones there. So
that's cool. Yeah. I didn't notice. I wasn't really following along. Maybe I should have paid more attention. I don't know.
You were busy replacing your lug nuts.
I did. And I tried to replace my caps, but that didn't work out because I got the wheel model wrong. I tried. I ordered them. I got them. And so like, it's just one of those things. Like, so my wheels are 308s.
Yeah.
I guess I misread something and I thought they were 338s, which is a completely different style wheel, which is actually just like bigger wheels. So the center cap was bigger. I didn't look at the measurements. Because they list the measurements. That would have been whatever.
Oh, it's okay. I ordered brakes for my Tacoma and had them sent to Alan. Mm-hmm. At the very bottom of the order, it says important fitment instruction or important fitment details. These are for 4-wheel drives.
Oh,
which are 6-lug. So Alan's like went to put the brakes on the front, and because my rotors were just real rusty, and he goes, "Hey man, these are 6-lug." I'm all, damn it. I'll just leave them off. I'll sell them. Is there anyone out there that wants Tacoma brakes? But yeah, and then I also with my lug nuts. Mm-hmm. Didn't have any.
I know, which is so funny. Someone pointed that out to me. That everybody's giving me crap for my lug nuts, and you only have 2.
But they weren't rusty.
And your truck doesn't drive, so
yeah,
that's fine.
But I mentally I wanted to tell Alan because Alan also does wheels and tires out of his shop.
Yeah,
I would have been. I wanted, and I forgot to do this. Hey man, can you throw some lug nuts in there?
Yeah,
because I didn't want to be the guy, but I was the guy.
It's okay. I am used to it.
I also didn't have any front brakes.
Well, which was probably fun unloading and unloading it.
Oh no! I didn't have brakes at all. There was no rotors on the front.
Oh, there wasn't. I didn't even notice.
It looked a lot better than rusty rotors. But he was like, "Do you just want me to leave the rotors off?" I was like, "Yeah."
Oh, okay. I didn't even notice that. That's funny. Then how were they held on?
Just the hubs on there.
Just no rotor. Okay, I see what you're saying.
Yeah.
So I got the lug nuts, got the wrong caps, and it was one of those things. As soon as I got the package, I opened them up and I just went, "Those are wrong." Just like because I got them on Amazon, so it was purchase, get them, return, and then they went back. But I got my lug nuts, had those put on, and I've had my back problems all month. That was kind of an interesting thing going on too. To go back to the show thing, I had this, my plan was that, and I said this on the previous episode, and now I'll follow up on that. On the previous episode that we were sitting like this, I said, I got some things in the works. I'm going to work on stuff. 1 was going to be the lug nuts, obviously. 2 was going to be the caps. And 3, I was going to actually detail it, like, completely to where the hood was going to be open, like, everything done.
Yeah.
Then I'm sitting on the couch with my back all jacked up. I'm like, what am I going to do? I thought to myself, well, maybe I'll just buck up and do it. But I was like, no, that's what got me in this problem in the first place. So I hit up a couple detailers. That wasn't really what I was expecting. I hit up this dude, and I put a thing out there. Can anybody recommend in my area a detailer? They did. I hit this guy up, and his idea of a detail was he wanted to do like paint corrections and all this other stuff. I said, no, I just want it kind of just like washed and waxed and that. And he's like, all right. He's like, yeah, I could do that for like $400. And I was like, okay, no.
Yeah.
So then
details are definitely not what they used to be.
No. But hey, so I got to give mad props to Justin from Proper Detailing, because I just totally forgot about this. He's at A Day to Remember show. He's at other shows too, but he comes in every year to the Day to Remember show to detail vehicles. And so I was like, oh yeah, that is actually Angie. She's like, well, why don't you find out if someone's detailing at the show? And I was like, I did. And Justin, his wife, and I don't know the other person. Their proper detailing. They took care of it. They made that truck has never been that clean. And it got vacuumed.
I was gonna say, I saw you go over there, and someone was. I was like, oh, someone said, Frank and Mike are getting their trucks detailed because we were rolling into the show. Like,
yeah,
and I was like, kind of taken back by that. I was
like, what's happening?
What's going on here? And then the next day, they come and wipe your car off again.
Yeah.
And I was like, this is gonna ruin Frank.
I know it is. It basically is
because. And I always talk crap too. I'm just like, oh, we used to never get our cars. Like we detailed our cars.
Right.
But then I forgot about the part where in the morning they walk around and wipe down your car. I was like, this totally makes sense.
Yeah, it totally does. And he did a great job. And like, it was one comment that he made, which is so funny. He's all, hey, look, I'm going to just get these carpets to where they look, I can't get all the dirt out of them. I said, I completely understand. He's like, is it okay if I just like make it look okay for the show? And I was like, that's fine. Oh, and then speaking of carpets, my carpet almost it did melt on the way up. That was another thing. So the truck, like the exhaust is very close to the bottom of the cab. So, we're caravanning up there, and there are, I don't know, for those who are not familiar with going to Vegas from SoCal, there's these two big grades on the way up there. And the first grade, I was like kind of keeping up with everybody, and the traffic was slowing down, and the truck was if the RPMs go high and the truck isn't moving very fast, all that exhaust does is just get hotter and hotter and hotter.
Well, yeah, when the RPMs are high, even if it's moving quickly, it's still bad.
It's still getting warm, but at least in that scenario, like when I'm driving it normally, like I'm coming up any pass, as long as I'm doing like 60, 65, like it's got enough airflow over it to keep it cool. Yeah. But, since we were caravanning, I was only doing maybe, 45, 50 along with it revved up. Like while I'm driving along, I start smelling the carpet. And this is, sorry, Angie, to put you on blast. But I was hoping, I'm like, did you fart? And she goes, no. And I was like, uh-oh. Because one time.
Imagine your truck just catches on fire.
I have a fire extinguisher. Because one time I took it up to Big Bear, and this was the whole thing. Like I had all the booth stuff because I thought I was just going to load it was just overloaded going up this big grade to get up into the mountains. It actually started smoking, and I look under it, and through some sort of holes in the bottom of the body, there's carpet dripping off the bottom of the cab. So that's when I learned. I was like, oh.
So essentially that's a problem that you fix when you get interior, right?
Oh, yeah. Once I get interior, I'll put Dynamat down, and that won't be an issue anymore. But in that moment, it was an issue, so I text the group. And I was like, hey, I got to take off. I got to go around. I'll meet you guys at the top. And then you said, because I said, the truck's getting hot. And you said, well, just drop a gear. It'll cool off.
No, I said, I put shift. And then you said, yeah, that's not helping. This is a temperature like my carpet. I was like, oh
yeah. So I knew by saying that it was going to be kind of a thing I had to explain, but yeah. So then, that was an issue that I got to work out. But the other thing that from my end, we talked a lot about you getting your truck there, me getting my truck there, putting effort into making it look nice to keep up with the look of the club because everybody brought their A game. It's the least that I can do is represent the best I can. Every time I drive that truck, it always has to remind me like, hey, I'm a good truck. And I'm like, yeah, you are a good truck.
Yeah.
Because I've said before, I stick it in the garage and I don't look at it for months at a time.
Yeah.
And every time I get in it, it runs super smooth. It runs good. It rides nice. It's a little bouncy here and there, but
but there's no reason for it not to.
No, I understand that, but in my brain, I don't see it, so I go like, I could build I start building Tacomas, I start doing all this stuff, and then the truck is like, hey, look, relax. This is nice.
Yeah. Well, that's why I always poked at you with the rusty lug nuts. Do you remember when I was cleaning up all the trash at the booth, and you're like, what are you doing? And I was like, this just looks bad.
Yeah. No. Yeah.
Like presentation is so important. You don't have to have like an entirely highly modded vehicle. You don't have to have like the best paint. You don't have to have like the best interior. But presentation shows respect.
That's a good way to put it.
You know what I mean? So like you respect the logo, and so you like take care of certain things. And I'm the worst at it because like my Titan, when the paint was messed up, I just like didn't care about it.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember I switched Holly Titans one time because I took hers to LST, and she got my truck. She messaged me. She goes, "Hey, I'm gonna detail this for you because
like,
this thing is terrible."
Yeah,
you know what I mean. And like, and it kind of made me realize like, oh, you should just take care of what you have, no matter what it looks like.
And I'm learning that. I'm definitely learning that because like,
and it's fun. You know what I mean? Like I detailed the Titan before I went.
Yeah, it looked good too.
Yeah, just because I was like, oh, it's good too. It's good exercise. It's good, gets you out and does something too.
Yeah.
You know.
No, no, I'm learning that myself. But yeah, everything has been good. You're gearing up for Dino's. Got Dino's this weekend.
I got the trailer loaded. I know it sucks.
Yeah.
Patty and Danny have FOMO, so they're coming out.
Oh, cool. That's cool.
Yeah. They're not bringing the truck. They're just coming out.
Right on. Just being there at that event is cool. Yeah. It's super cool.
And Jose and Erica are coming out. Will's bringing his C10. He's got a top chip, so he'll be right by the booth.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Nice. And didn't Mike say he's going to bring his truck too? Oh, no, he was talking about slow. No. He was talking about slow. That's a totally different
slow down. Yeah.
Yeah, that's really cool. Now I'm going to have FOMO. Thanks.
Yeah.
I know.
You should just come out. Wait, you're not coming out because of what? Softball or something?
No, we're taking my mother-in-law on vacation.
Oh, you could just leave. Just take her on the vacation, leave, and then go back.
I know. I don't know.
Don't tempt you. Just drive out first thing Friday morning. You could spend the day out here, and you could be home that night.
I don't know. It's probably not going to happen. Anyway, have fun.
Just drive the Camry.
Yeah.
Anyways.
The other big thing that's happening is our good friend Joe Molina is having C10 Vatos is having their booth for the first time in a year since because he was on the podcast. He gave some insight into what was going on in his life, and now a year later he's back setting up the booth. So,
and he feels good. He's got his energy back.
That's great.
Yeah, he's really back. Cool. He's excited. He's excited for it. So,
and that's already happened. So this episode is coming out after the weekend. So hopefully, some of you guys went and checked it out, and it was cool.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So I think that was part of my anxiety over the weekend too. Mm-hmm. Just knowing, I was like, I can't wait till Dino's is over. Like,
just
as much as
it's a monster, you got to get out of the way.
So was the 30th.
Right.
Like, not only I had to get my Tacoma and make sure that was good, make sure the club was good, make sure the booth was good. There was just so many things, and I just get it worked up, and then I'm just like, sometimes I just want everything to be over with. It's like that feeling I told you about.
I get that. I totally get that.
Like that, like in front of my computer right here is like my safe place.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like when everything's over with, I'm just like, all right, I ain't got nothing to do for a week.
And you probably feel this exact same way, but sometimes as much as like an event is going to be cool at the beginning, right before I take off for the event, in the back of my mind or in some space, I go, I can't wait for this to be over.
I was like that all weekend.
Yeah, I know. It's weird. It's weird. It's a weird space to be in.
And it was over for me quick because I went to bed at like 9:30 on Saturday night.
Really? Is that's where you disappeared to?
Yeah. Well, I had to. The hotel that hotel there is a little. It's a little old.
It's a little old.
Anyways, I got
charming.
Charming. As Shingo put it, Shingo texts me. He goes, "Brian, this hotel is haunted."
Yes. Yes, that's a good way to put it too.
So I had to book 5 rooms for the Japanese guys.
Mm-hmm.
And there was changes at the last. It was just thing. And then Shingo's like, "Hey, can you tell me the totals? Because we're leaving early in the morning." So I went to the front desk and I broke my glasses, and my other pair of glasses was in my Titan. So I'm like standing there trying to read this thing. Someone yells in my ear because everyone's partying and having a good time. Right. And I was like, F this.
I'm done.
I'm done. I went up to the room and I was like, I'll go back down. I went up to the room and I was hot, smelled like just the day. And I took a shower and I went, I'm not going back down.
Hey, no, totally understandable.
Yeah. Totally I woke up at 4:00 in the morning and took Tony to the airport.
Yeah.
Got home. It sucked, but at the same time, the most important thing was everyone was having a good time. Yeah. You know what I mean?
No, I get it. I totally get it. And everybody appreciated it. Like I said, everybody was like, make sure you go say what's up to Brian or, do say just something, right? So, well, okay, I got to go get my kid. So, like, that was my alarm. I got to go get my kid.
Okay.
But there's a good episode.
Are we ending it right here?
A nice little. We are. We're done.
We just end it like this. Do you want to go get your kid, come back, and then just legit?
I got 10 minutes.
Oh, you have 10 minutes from now?
Yeah, I can spare 5-ish.
Oh, well,
minutes.
then it's over. I just didn't want to just be like, okay, done, bye.
No. We can properly send it off.
Oh, okay.
But I'm just saying,
we're gonna keep.
We're keeping the end of the conversation.
We're keeping all of this in the episode too because we are so rusty.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. Like we gotta.
Yes, now my kid is texting me right now. So
she's there.
Yeah, it was after school thing. I gotta go get her. So, but anyways, it was fun. Everything was
good
fun.
Weekend.
It was good.
Good Hall of Fame. SEMA looked great.
Congratulations to Matt Stone for winning all the Alpine equipment.
Oh,
we did our giveaway.
Yeah.
We did our giveaway last week. And so Matt Stone won. He's a great dude. We love hanging out with him. We see him all over the place. He's from Houston, but we see him at all these different shows.
He's a super active in the scene.
Yeah.
And I sent a drop hat to the second place winner.
Oh, cool.
Because he won because he pre-ordered one of the new shirts of mine.
Oh,
so
nice.
when I was like packaging it up, I was like, I'll just send the hat with this.
Uh-huh. Yeah. Hold on 1 second. Hello? I'm leaving right now. Okay. Bye. We can leave all that in the episode.
Yeah, it's just that's fine.
That's life.
That is life, and
that is life.
That's it then.
That's it.
We'll have an announcement on a new giveaway hopefully next week.
Yeah. If that all works out, I'm very excited about that.
Whatever, we'll figure it out. But
yeah.
Yeah.
In the meantime, go to our websites, livelifecustom.com, grinder-tv.com. We're giving something else away.
Yeah.
Brian has new shirts.
I'm hoping not to have new shirts by this weekend.
Oh, and make more? Or are those one and dones?
Those are one and dones.
Oh.
I ordered a lot of them though. So.
Oh, okay. All right.
Yeah.
Well, we'll see how it works out. What merch you got?
Anything? Yeah. If you go to my website right now, it's whatever's left over. And those Arizona square body Dino shirts or whatever, those will be done because the next ones will be LST.
LST.
Yep.
Cool.
All right.
Right on. All right. Well, we'll see you guys next week.
Later.